Spoiler alert, I believe I do a ship movement then an attack in this section. Not legal. Setting up for Burning Banners, Campaign 4, Orcs on the Deepwater. Once I get through the campaign that has the Army of the Night for the first time, I'm going to start the advanced game. So for now, it's still going to be basic. Today, the Orcs are the role of the invader. The Oathborn are the resistance. The postures of the settlements to the Orcs is going to be neutral settlements are hostile. Oathborn settlements are hostile. Eastern Empire settlements are hostile. And Mira Matai, I believe is how it's pronounced, are prohibited to both races. Welcoming to the resistance Oathborn are going to be neutral. Allied are going to be Eastern Empire. A 3-turn game starting in Year 1 Spring, ending in Year 1 Autumn. The map is going to be Fields of Ash, making its premiere in this video series. Orcs on the Deepwater, Year 584. At its height, the Empire's eastern border was marked by the Deepwater, a mighty river winding out of the smoke-wreathed Firetop Mountains before descending over hundreds of leagues to the inner sea. Orc incursions from east of the river were always a threat, but as Imperial power declined, their attacks became bolder and more frequent. A powerful invasion in the year 430 forced the Empire to abandon its eastern provinces for good. When panic-stricken Imperial dignitaries advised the dwarves to give up their mountain fastnesses and join them in their flight west, the stout folk chose their traditional defense instead, to abandon the surface and return to the safety of their underground strongholds. 5 years later, King Sognir of Swardheim emerged from the darkness, leading a dwarven counterattack that drove the Orcs back across the river. The dwarven kingdoms shouted Sognir's oath as they sallied forth. "We stand as one people, never again will we live in fear, not of Orcs, not of humans, not of anything that walks the surface of the earth." Victorious, they resettled and strengthened the wrecked villages and strongholds that had once formed a prosperous region of the Empire. 150 years after taking Sognir's oath, the Oathborn were again firmly established on the surface, united, ready to confront any attempt by the Orcs to gain a foothold in their territory. They were equally ready to defy the faithless Eastern Empire if it tried to take back what generations of mountain folk had paid for with their blood and treasure. Setting up first, but second in turn order, is going to be the Oathborn. Setting up second, but first in turn order, is going to be the Orcs. Starting income of the Oathborn is going to be 8. They start with 15 gold. Special rules for the Oathborn in this scenario. Oathborn minor armies may set up in mine hexes within 2 hexes of any Oathborn settlement. Being a Shashka kingdom, the Orcs have no starting income, but they start with 16 gold. Now, the victory conditions are the Orc player wins the game if, at the end of any season, there are 6 neutral or Oathborn settlements which contain an Orc control marker or raised marker. The Oathborn player wins by avoiding Orc victory. Control of loyal Eastern Empire settlements is disregarded when determining victory. And, of course, asked and answered. Last time I had the question of, can you do ship movement then normal movement, even if a ship movement is your action? The answer would be no. Fjordlander movement can do that because a ship movement for them is a free action. So they could ship move action, or move ship move action. That's just a bonus to being the Fjordlanders. So thanks for that being answered, and now I understand that a little better. Alright, taking a look at the map before we set up, you can see that the Orcs are coming in from the east. There's not a lot of western presence for the Oathborn or neutral settlements, so going down here, not necessarily abandon it because it's still potential places for the Orcs to attack, but you've only got 3 turns here, so getting from here down to here and contesting that isn't going to matter so much for the Orcs because they want to get 6 settlements up in this region or down here. So I'm going to try something a little different with the Orcs. Now, this is where a solo component for this game would be awesome, because obviously with spells, treasures, and heroes and stuff, it's going to change what I do, because I'm going to have full knowledge of what my opponent, quote-unquote, has in their hand. But right now, it also is like, I know the strategy I want to do with one army, am I just going to play the other one how I would play it if I did not know that? Or am I don't know. It's confusing. I like playing solo and everything. I'm still going to go with it because the best way to play solo when you're playing a game that doesn't necessarily have a solo component is plot out a strategy beforehand and absolutely commit to it no matter what for both sides. And that'll prevent you from favoring one army, maybe? I don't know. My musings and thoughts on the game don't quite matter to you as the viewer, so let me just get some pieces on the board and start playing. Alright, Oathborn are setting up first. Now, as tempting as it is to start spending gold and planting these miners in the mountains, the goblins get to go first, or the orcs get to go first, so we've got to prevent a sweeping invasion. So, yield not to the temptation of instant mines being acquired, because you can do that after you get income. Alright, first we're going to spend 3. And put in, since it is just the first turn and they will be ready by the time the next match or next turn starts, we can deposit them outside of the city to just get them a little extra movement to get over there. We'd actually want to do that because this is a river source. Here you'd have to go down through this settlement and up across this bridge or attack across a river to get there. So we're going to go up this way. We're going to spend another 3 to build some king's crossbow right here. We'll spend another 3 to put a king's crossbow down here in this port, because we're going to try and do some ship movement to get here and get that. We will spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to bring out a dragon slayer right there, and then 1 to put a miner right here. All right, time for the orcs to set up. Right away, we're going to spend 4. Bring in a wolf rider right there. Spend 2 to bring in an orc reaver right here. Spend another 4. Bring in a wolf rider. And we will do right there. Spend 2. Orc reaver up here. Spend 2. Bring in 2 orc scouts. And then 2 more for 2 more orc scouts. All right. Now I think I'm ready to begin. So, turn 1 is going to be the orcs. Alright, during income phase, the income action step, I don't control any settlements with the orcs, so they can't collapse, and I can't lay waste. So we're going to move right to income, which there is no control or income, so let's just get to the activation phase. And we'll start here with this wolf rider. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll try and take Budar. That's going to be too light and heavy. And there's a hit. And the garrison at Budar falls. So we loot for 3. Now this guy's going to do... Well, he's got to start with ship movement. So there, I just negated what I said about ship movement being before movement, because you have to start in an entry hex. Maybe I just won't move normally afterward until that's answered. Nah, I'm not going to stretch it. I'm going to read it as written. So they can do ship movement as an action to a secondary move. So they're not going to be able to land and move. But we'll go 1, 2, and stop at that coastal hex. 1, 2. We'll stop at this coastal hex. Orc Reavers. 1, 2, 3. We're just going to go right up here and attack Dunka. Bitte. Alright. There is a hit. And Dunka falls. So we move in. Loot for 3, because you're a Shashka kingdom. Control marker placed. Alright. So, exhausted, or finished. Ooh, Yurku. How much is their siege engines move? 2? I'm not going to be able to get there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's try some orc scouts. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to try and attack Yurku. 6s or higher because it is fortified. And there's a hit back. Doesn't count as a hit, so gone. Normally ranged would win ties, but with the modifier, they did not score a hit. Let's try that again, huh? Probably dumb to keep throwing just weaklings at that Yurku. Alright. 1, 2, 3. This had no road on it, so I can't get the road bonus, even though there's some road on that hex. We'll try and attack Yurku with that guy. There's nothing. Yurku stalwart in its defense here. 1, 2, 3. This guy will try and attack Yurku as well. Probably just throwing away potential units that could be stopping the dwarves here. There's a hit. So now, even if there's a tie, Yurku is ours. Get 3 gold for loot. And place a control marker. Was that worth it? Probably not. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to go there. Alright, what else do we have now? This settlement is not besieged, so we can spawn there. Let's kick a buck here. 2 of them to be exact. Bring out some orc scouts. Put them here. They come in finished because they are not in a settlement, but they do provide a screen. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to spend 4 and bring in some black axes. Put them down there. That's going to be a heavily contested area. But also, we'll spend 2 because we're going to be laying waste next turn to a lot in hopes of aggressive expansion. We'll bring out some orc reavers and place them right there. Alright. Turn complete. The Oathborn. They have an income of 8. Alright, we're going to basically get a lot of this back right now. This is not besieged. That's within 2, so we're going to spend 1 and bring in... Oh, he would be exhausted up in that mine. We're not going to do that yet. Before we rush to mining, we're going to do this one here. That one will mine for 1 because we deposited it. Maybe that was not the right move. I should have probably deposited dwarves because that would have been higher income at less cost. I was kind of hoping to just bring out some units to be ready to attack here, but it might have been a strategic error. Alright, we are going to bring in these king's crossbows. They have mountain walk, so no movement penalty. 1, 2. We can't advance into there, even though it is welcoming. I should have done the road, because if he was here, it would have been 1, 2... Nah, he still wouldn't have made it. Still would have been 1 space away. Okay. I don't think I'm going to get much in terms of money here, actually. 1, 2. We'll go in here to Khotan Kong, and it's welcoming neutral, so we can just place our control marker there. Income goes up. We don't loot it, but we will attack those... orc scouts, and there's no terrain specialty for them. We're going to do an ambush. So a strike, we inflict 1 hit on them. They are fragile, so gone. Alright. Now the king's crossbow, he would have to shoot across a river. It's an extra die, but it might be worth it. Yeah, let's try. All right, we're going to shoot across the river into Dunka, and that's going to be ranged on not ranged, so we win ties. There's a hit. He gets a light and a heavy, and one for the river. There's a hit back, but we're ranged, so ties. He's just wounded, though. He's not dead. Man, spread thin. We're going to do a sea movement out of this port. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to try and get Budar. And I think it's coastal to... Yeah, I don't think that I would be hitting across a river or anything there. There's a potential critical. Confirming. Nothing. So one hit. And 2 hits back. Man. Terrible. Well, let's spend a gold to put a miner. That's not an Oathborn. Put a miner there. Not great. So 1, 2, 3. This is probably dumb. Miner's gonna go here. All right, then we'll spend 4 to bring in an Iron Legion here, and then we'll spend 2 to bring in 2 miners. 1 here and 1 here. Just to help me keep track of the potential victory for the Orcs, I'm going to just put some raised markers near the top of the map. That is... Oh, I still got 1 gold. Let's use it. Miner. And we will put this one right here. Alright, that's turn complete. We are now season summer. The Orcs have 1, 2, 3 control markers, but only 1 gold. So we are going to lay waste to Yurku and raise it. Get 3. And we will also... We'll pay 2. We'll pay for the other 2 to stay. Okay. Now, everybody is readied up on the Orcs team. 2, 3. We're going to try and take Katarkas. There's a hit. So even if it strikes back as a garrison, we're ranged. So we take it. We loot it. We add another raised marker up to the top. 2 away. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There's a lot of river here. No bridges. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're going to try and attack across the major river, so it gets 2 light defense dice at Port Gilder. No hits. Uh-oh. Garrison, and then 2 from the major river. Let me check that to make sure that's right. Yep, plus 2 light dice. Okay, so no hits. And Port Gilder hits back. Fragile, gone. You're done. Oh. This is a port. That's a city, though. Probably not great to try and attack Port Talon Shield. We'll see. We'll revisit that. Alright, these black axes are going to attack the Dragon Slayers in Khotan Kong. And there is no hits. That's pretty bad. No hits back. Okay, well. Let's do this. Orc Scout will go 1-2 to move there, and then shoot up at that miner. No hits. Miner's in the mountains, so it gets an extra die. There's a hit back. Well, Orc Scout's not really proven very useful right now. 1, 2... No, wait. We'll do this one first. 1, 2, 3. Orc Reavers are going to try and attack a root. And there's a hit. And there's a hit back. 1, 2. We'll try a root with the Goblin Scouts. Nothing. And a hit back. Nice. Great for the dwarves, bad for the orcs. Well, this guy's going to spend a gold to recover as his action. We're going to try and attack a root with the Wolf Riders. 5. There's a hit. Nothing. Okay. There we go. We take a root. We loot. And we place a control marker. And now they're one away from victory at the end of the season unless the dwarves can do something. Okay. Now, as I said, we'll revisit down here. We're going to do this. We are going to... No, we can't. We're besieged. We can't deploy units here. This Wolf Rider is going to attack those King's crossbows. Black, white, white. There's a potential critical and a hit and a hit. So, 3 even. Now he's got a critical and confirm it to... Nope, he's gone. Alright. Now we're no longer besieged, so we can build there again. But... Man, we can't get across this river because it would be 2 to cross the river, 2 to enter the swamp. Port Talon Shield is in a really fortified spot. So, instead, we're going to do a siege engine for 3. Oh, that's a city, though. That's going to be a 2 modifier. Well, we got to do something. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to try and siege Port Talon Shield. That's throwing units at something that is absolutely hard to get. We should focus on up here, which I might not have been able to build that black axe last turn because I think this was besieged. No, because it was their first turn. So, that's besieged. We can't build there. Kind of, I shouldn't have burned up there so quickly. Okay, well, instead, we're going to spend 2, bring in 2 more Orc Reavers. No, we'll spend 4 and bring in a Wolf Rider. And we will put him here. Because it's an entry hex, he can move right away. And we have 6 movement because we are starting in an entry hex, but I believe we can use that movement to go down the river. And yes, there's a port down the river for 6 movement because entry hex and port are the same for ship movement. That could be 6, but reading that example, they do end their movement in the swamp here. So using ship movement, I could go ship movement from this river would be 3, 1, 2, and get into that swamp. But again, I'm not attacking Port Talon's shield. Not worth it. Let's go back to this guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And stop. Okay, he doesn't get to attack, but he does get better placement. No, then we'll do 6. We might as well get across this river for Port Gilder, which we're going to hopefully attack. We've got 3. I think we want to save it. Okay. Orc turn complete. Oathborn are up with an income of 9. Let's ready up, guys. Now, for the reason I built these miners, we're going to move this one into here, taking Shadow Glen. Miners, not great defense, but income goes up by 1. This miner here is going to use all its movement on road. 1, 2, 3. And let's see. 1, 2. This one's going to go 1, 2 into Southbridge, increasing our income, placing a control marker. This one is going to go 1, 2, and be tired because he can't get to the mine. This one is going to mine, give us an extra income. This one is going to mine, give us an extra gold, not income. All right. Now we've got some dwarves to do stuff with. We have to get some of this stuff out of orc control. We have to wrest it from their hands. That's probably lost. First, King's crossbows, we're going to go move up to here and shoot down in a root. Ugh. Krusty the Clown. Ugh. And, 2 hits and a potential critical back. Wolf Rider's proving lethal. Yeah, 1, 2. Alright, this one's going to go 1, 2 with Mountain Walk. We won't have to shoot across a river. We'll shoot into Dunka. There's a hit. There's a hit back, but it is a tie with ranged. Win the tie. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Not great. Alright, let's try these Iron Legion here. 1, 2. 2 heavies and a light. Attacking across the river into Dunka. Man. Miss, miss, miss. This is going to be painful back. Yep, there's a hit back. Iron Legion suffers a wound. And now this one here, I would be giving up Port Gilder. 1, 2, let's go to Port Gilder. Place a control marker here. And income goes up by 1. Okay, now, got some gold, got Dragon Slayers. We're going to actually... Alright, we're going to take a risk here. We're going to spend 7 and bring out a Storm Giant in Drakenhold. And he's going to go 1, 2. He will be attacking across a river, but he gets 3 heavy, 3 light. All right, there's 1, 2 hits. So somehow, if this Wolf Rider misses, There's a potential critical and a hit. This giant's going to get hurt. You watch. There's 2 hits back, so it's canceled out. But if this confirmed critical... Okay, no. It's canceled out. Well, stupid. Okay, we'll spend 4 and bring in an Iron Legion right here. 1, 2. We'll go to Korag Tong or whatever this is. Khotin Kong. And we're just gonna... We're gonna attack the black axes. Probably... No, we're just gonna end the turn. We want to be defensive here. Trying to swarm them isn't gonna work. Okay. Well, that is the end of a season. The Orcs, with 5, are very close to victory. We are now on the final turn, Autumn. Okay, Orcs, income. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 control markers to pay for, but only 3 gold. So we are going to burn Budar and lay waste to it. We are also going to burn Katurkus, because this river, this is a bad area. The dwarves can sail across, but it's not worth committing to it. So we'll take that back, lay waste. Okay. And we're going to keep this and that, I believe. Yeah, these dwarves are going to prevent. These dwarves are going to prevent a lot of expansion in this area. So I might as well lay waste to that, get more gold. Because I'd have to kill 2 units, 3 units. No, this is a settlement here. So I'd have to kill both of these guys with just these 2. I'm going to lay waste to it. Ugh, did that just cut off the potential orc victory? I don't know. But let's get 3 gold. Because I can't build there. I'm besieged. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to try and attack Augur. There's a potential critical, confirming. Critical confirmed, 2 hits. It only has a garrison of 1 light die, so it's not worth making a roll back. We take Augur. We loot Augur. And now we have this miner besieging that city or settlement, so we can't use it to sweep in through the back. Well, we're going to use road movement. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now his entire movement was on road, I believe, but we're going to try and take High Bridge. No. Yes. Why would we not try that? Oh, this is where we're going to take High Bridge. Come on, dude. There's a hit. Can the people of High Bridge defend? Yes. And they hit back. Canceled out. Well, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to build Dire Ravens. And go 1, 2, 3. And attack High Bridge again. There's a hit. And nothing. So they move in, but they can't loot because they're a huge creature. They instantly raise it. High Bridge is raised. Get another marker up here, though. This might be it. Now, 1. Well, Make sure everybody else is up. I think the orcs have this one. 1, 2, 3. No. Yeah. This isn't going to count toward victory, though. We want Darhad. Or... Ugh, there's no bridges anywhere in these dwarven settlements. So yeah, let's try for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Might as well go in here. Get some defense. If we are attacked. Let's try and attack Darhad. 6s or higher. Nothing. And it is a wilderness settlement, so it gets... hits back. Nothing as well. Well, lame. Okay. Bridges negate the river bonus, so we're going to try these black axes on that Iron Legion. And there's 5. That's 1 hit. Iron Legion. There's a potential critical, so there's the hit negated. Critical confirmed. Yes, 1 hit back. Well, Orc Reavers are going to try and attack that Iron Legion, I guess. No. What? Yes. There's a hit. And 2 hits back. See, I might have thrown away an easier victory for the Orcs right there. One, 2, 3. We're going to shoot across a major river. Yeah, right. Orc scouts. 2 hits. Okay. Well, still. Reroll that one because it's out of the bowl. There's 2 hits back with a potential critical confirming. No. But it is a tie. That's a tie. 2 on 2. So ranged. Wounded. Not really ideal, but man, this river is annoying. No bridges. These people have no infrastructure, at least above ground. I've got a lot of gold, but I got 1 spot to pop guys out of. It doesn't necessarily mean instant victory here. So let's try some more dire ravens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and choke off. Hopefully choke off the dwarves. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take South Bridge instead. We're going to try to. Nothing. These ravens are a joke. Every time I use them, they're terrible. Oh, wait. Southridge gets to hit back. Nothing. Well, there I blew 5 gold on that, but at least that's besieged, I guess. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not going to get much out of this, but let's build an ogre. Just plant him up in there. He can't get anywhere. So that is it. All right, at the end of any season, that is now the Oathborn turn. Can the Oathborn remove 2 of these raised markers? First, income. 12 gold. Alright, that's a lot of gold to play with here. Let's unexhaust all of our exhausted characters. A miner is not going to take that town. So, she will mine. Might as well send these miners to work here. This dude will go here. No. Yeah? Yes. This guy will go here in mine. This one will go here in mine. Alright. That's 3 extra gold. One, two, three. Doesn't really matter what I wasted a gold on a miner right there. This one, we'll just get him 1, 2, 3. Go in there. Open up some of these friendly regions here. Well, as I said, I just gave up Orc victory last turn. I did this wrong. I tried to expand when I should have secured and defended. The dwarves are going to win this. This is an unoccupied, welcoming, neutral settlement, so we can move in. As a free action, we can pay 2 gold to remove the raised marker. As a free action, being a welcoming settlement, we can put an Oathborn marker there, increasing our income, removing 1 of the victory tokens. We are going to do his actual action as 2. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter to recover him. We're just going to recover him, and he's done. And right here. Oh, nope. We can't get up there. It wasn't as simple as that. Interesting. Alright, I took a look at the map while paused. The orcs are set for victory. The dwarves can do it. They can't get here. No matter what I do, I cannot get to this city for the free action to remove that raised marker. There's 2 prohibited hexes here, so I can't move through them. This guy can only get 2. Even if I was to kill him and build a dragon slayer here, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't get to that hex. I can fight up in a route. That's possible, but that is a huge risk. With I have 1 dragon slayer, the only dwarf unit that can move 3. She's key to the only way I can win. I could go up here, try and take that. Otherwise, High Bridge is my only other possible location. I've got all this gold here, so I have to save 5 of it for a dragon slayer. I'll be able to spawn here, but if I do not kill these ravens, that's game, because I can't go through this hex. I do believe that that is the only 2 possible places to get to, with no bridges here, and I think I used the king's crossbow wrong. I think I did an attack when he did his ship movement across, which I always think in my head, movement then action, regardless of ship movement. But that's Fjordlanders only, so if I did that wrong, oops. I can't get over here, so I can't take that back. I should have done something last turn. These guys were a waste. I got 1 settlement at the cost of 2 gold. That was a waste. This was a waste. 7 gold. A lot of dice. It was too close to the end of the game. I should not have done that. No! Dragon Slayer in port with ship movement. 1, 2. And then they can move out of the river. I can get there and cancel out the victory. I should have moved these Orc Reavers here. Let me just look at the example, but I believe I can do port movement, which would be 6. Doesn't matter, even with 3, I could do 1, 2, plop in there, and spend the gold. I will do the risky thing up here just to see if it would work, but that's it. Yep, ship movement may be used to enter and leave major river hexes. A unit must follow the course of the river when using ship movement to leave or enter a major river hex. This is a major river, and in this example here, you can plop across the river. Just so happens there's a nice, juicy victory possible settlement right there, because that'll drop them by 1 and we'll win. But let's try the move here and see if I could have done this. All right, setting 5 aside 2 aside for that settlement because we're going to have to pay to remove the raised marker. I've got 4 gold. Probably not. That'd be, well, let's spend 4 and build an Iron Legion and see if we can get him to go here. And this bird is in the mountains. All right. 2 heavy and a light. There's a potential critical and a hit. Confirming. Nothing. So 2 hits. Getting an extra for the mountains. There's 2 hits, 3 hits back, and a potential critical. Alright. Just 1. 3 hits back against 2. I would not have been able to do it. So instead, we're just going to do ship movement. 1, 2, 3 from a port. We'll just plop into here. And as a free action, remove this raised marker for 2. Putting our own because it will be welcoming. Removing a raised marker from the potential victory from the Orcs. And we will end our turn there. So the Oathborn have repelled the Orcs. I think this is probably my most consistent video yet with terrain and movement and stuff. I'm getting there. I'm playing this more often, so I'm making less and less mistakes. Again, trying to balance it of, as my dad said, is when you're playing against yourself, it's can I kick my own butt? So I start to do things like, take shortcuts or bend rules, possibly break them. Not necessarily on purpose, but for the sake of keeping the action interesting and trying not to favor one side. But the Oathborn have repelled the Orcs on the Deepwater.